Gentlemen, I haven't made one of these for a while. So here goes. I've just brought this machine in. Just come back from Joburg. And it's not firing up. Went out to the client's place just to see maybe if it was a fuse or something I could fix. But I checked the test points on the power supply with a multimeter, and I found that the 5 volts was sitting down at 2.5 volts. So the verdict is I have to dig deeper, and then it has to come back to the shop. So here it is. Right, let's see what happens. Well, there's a chance that you plug it in and it works. Okay, so the lights come on, but nothing else does. Right, so we dig deeper. It's funny how some machines spend a week on them, get them sorted nicely, and they work fine. And on the trip home, something breaks, they don't work anymore. You never have the opposite, one where you fix a broken machine and by the time you get to the shop it works. It's not that kind of universe. Okay, nice 6 more back glass. This is a mix and match. Some of them are LEDs and some of them are not. Alright, so what I did was when I got to the client's place, checked the batteries, hauled them out. There's some corrosion there. It's not bad. It doesn't leak all over the show because they're old style carbon batteries. The new alkaline stuff would have destroyed all this. So I don't know. I like the old batteries. They last long enough that if you change them once a year, you're fine. Anyway, I checked all the voltages on the test points there. 12 volts seemed okay, but the 5 volt was halfway down. If the 5 volt's halfway down, then none of this logic is going to work. Despite the fact that it says 5 volt here, it's not 5. It's not. Alright, so I've managed to get the machine up and running. Logically, I mean the 5 volts seems to be there. It takes a while to come up. There might be a cap I need to look at. But when you fire this beast up, R2D2 pulls in. That's that coil there. That's either a short on this wire or a shorted driver transistor. And one of these thumpers, I think it's this one. So another thumper, another solenoid driver chip. It's just a big transistor. We'll change that in a jiffy. But there are these guys that went to my client and invoiced him because they did a call out and they said to him, no, the machine works. Well, that's why he's my client now. So this is what I managed to dig out of the side of the... Check that weld! It's supposed to look like that. Yeah, hole spacing. So the hole spacing's all wrong. That's wrong. This is the wrong diameter. That's 8. This is 9.5. That's 9.5. That's 8. Huh. So I managed to dig it out of those holes there and there. It's supposed to be machine screws that go into T-nuts from the other side, from there and there. So it wasn't in the right spot. So the playfield was probably tilted. So I'm just going to Well, this being deepest, darkest Africa, I'm just going to have to make a new one. I'll make a nicer one than that. I'll at least give it a shot, you know? It's ridiculous. Anyhow. So watch what happens when I switch the machine on. Immediately, a thumper pulls in and R2D2 pulls in. So that means that on that board there, two of those transistors are gone. So I need to rip the board out, replace those transistors. Otherwise, this fuse that was blown when I got there, that fuse will keep blowing. Ons fucking maatjies is met hom. Boos belangrike mense. Alles in Amerika is ons fucking disposable. Alles. Kan het net weg. Dus kliënte fucking baie geld. It's cheaper om met 'n Chinese sweatshop te maak as om dit self reg te doen. Met 'n Chinese kid fucking doen. sit hulle met die kak. Nou, jy fucking baie. Ek wil dink. Kan die kakker doen as die oranje ou nie. Flik hulle complete. Back to the Star Wars power supply. Had this beast out. Found a couple of things. This wire here was not connected to that little lug there properly, so it wasn't making contact. Still, it wasn't giving 5 volts, it was giving 2.5. So ripped this out, plugged in my newly created test jig into here just to give me the right voltages on those grey lines to power the 5 volt side, and I found that this cap here was not so good. Replaced that and the 5 volt was back. So it boots and runs, and now we have some coil issues. Although I have checked all these transistors, and I have checked all those transistors, from what I can fathom on the schematics is that we have issues with these transistors here, and because it's almost all of them, I have a feeling that we have a fuse on this board, so we're going to have to just check the fuses. But if need be, we need to rip out all that and replace those tip 36Cs. Because I have a feeling that when the 5 volt went down, the CPU was left in an intermediate state or indeterminate state or some other state where the coils were actually energized and left energized, and which caused them to blow. Fuses should take care of them, but you never know with machines like these. They might just have a piece of railroad track in there instead of a fuse, and then you protect your fuses with your coils instead of the other way around. But we'll see. So now, to identify which coils are gone, we go into diagnostic mode. I'll show you that. Inside the cabinet here, we have these two switches. If the switch is pressed in, actually that's the advanced switch. This is a in and out switch. If that switch is pressed in, you'll go to diagnostic mode straight away if you press this button. If it's up and you press that button, you'll go into audit mode and setting mode. But we need to go into diagnostics, so leave that down. We'll switch the machine on, and then we'll press this guy to get into diagnostic mode. I'll focus on the DMD now so we can see what's happening, but essentially I'll be playing with these two switches here. Okay, so we're looking at the screen, turn on the machine. As you can see, the 5 volts is happy now. The machine boots, it goes through its diagnostics. It's looking for balls at this point, but it will come up with a free play. There we go. Once it's like that, and then it's booted. Now if you press start, it will say, okay, it needs 3 balls because they're all sitting on the edge here. 3 balls missing. And it will start cycling through the kickers to kick out the balls onto the playfield that might be stuck inside, the up kicker and the scoops and whatnot. All right. Balls were stuck in the scoops and they weren't being kicked out, so which made me suspicious. So here we go. Green button is down, black button gets us into diagnostics. I'm going to put the green button up straight away so I can go into that, burn-in time speaker test, switch test, active switch test. Wow. Cycling coil. So each time you hear a click, so there's the launcher, doesn't make a sound, the scoop kicker doesn't make a sound, the up kicker doesn't make a sound. drop target is there. The knocker has been removed completely. But from just listening to the machine and watching the data on the screen, you can figure out which coils are not responding or not doing anything. And then it's down to the schematics. So you get into the schematics and you trace it through to that bottom board there, which is known as the PPB, popcorn popper board, because it gets really hot. And then you have, 4 of the 5 is not working, and 1 just might not be used. So I'm guessing that all the coils coming through the PPB are down, and that's mostly a problem upstream, so like a fuse or something. So let's have a look at that. So just going through these fuses with my multimeter set to continuity mode, I found that there's no buzz on that fuse, so I'm going to replace that, see what happens. Alright, replace that with the right fuse. Fortunately there's a handy charge stuck inside. I know that's 5 amp slow blow. Let's see what happens if I turn the machine on. If there's any issue with these transistors or a coil or something, the fuse will blow again straight away. So here goes. Fuse is still cool. Let's see what happens. It should come out of this kicker if I drop a ball in there, so that's not happening. Let's just chuck a ball around. Oh, great. Like a charm. Right, this machine is ready to go back. I'm gonna pull a vacuum cleaner through here, just get some dust off, make it slightly more presentable. Phone the owner and tell him his baby's back. Alright, guys, thanks for watching.